Hey everyone, it's Prodigy Games here. Prodigy Rem Xbox NA is my gamer tag. And I'm here with another video. I'm here to show you 10 tips for PvP for beginners. Alright. Now, the first one is going to be build necessities. Now, veteran players are going to say, oh, I knew that. But this is mainly for beginners, so don't go too hard on me, alright? Alright, well, build necessities. Let's start out with, every build should have a form of major resolve. Now, major resolve is extra armor, right? So on the DK, it will be hardened armor to get my major resolve extra armor. There is a form of major resolve on every build, and it is very important that you run it. The only build that you wouldn't run it on would probably be a Nightblade, but they get major resolve when they go into cloak and use some of their shadow abilities. But yeah, major resolve, definitely a big one. You need that, more armor, more tanky. The next one, major brutality or major sorcery. On the DK, that's going to be the two-handed skill Rally. Gives us major brutality, upping our weapon damage. Every stamina build will probably use Rally, but for Magicka builds, it varies. It's either built into their class, or sometimes some Magicka builds pop a potion to get major sorcery. You also can go down here to the, where is it, Mages Guild, and Entropy morphs into Degeneration, and that can give major sorcery. Alright, so you need a form of major brutality or sorcery on every build to up your damage. Next one is a heal over time. On my build on DK, that would be Resolving Vigor, right? So every stamina build uses Resolving Vigor for the most part. That is your main heal over time. Use it when you get low. Magic builds, that also varies with class. However, a lot of them use, where is it? The Restoration Staff, you know, rapid regen. Grand healing, rapid regen is always better. Or the other morph, Radiating Regen. That's another good heal over time for Magicka users. But yeah, for stamina, it's probably always going to be Vigor. Now, Burst Heal is another necessity that you want on every build. I have two of them. Rally on my front bar, which you can activate anytime you want after activating it the first time to get a heal. But if you wait till the end, it gives you the most potent burst heal. So it is good to wait till the end. Also, on the DK, Cauterize is our burst heal. Very good burst heal. You always want some form of burst heal, and like I said, healing over time on each build. The next is a CC or a stun. Now, for two-handed users, Dizzy Swing can stun people. If you hit them with a Dizzy Swing and then Medium Weave right after, it will stun them. Let me demonstrate that for you real quick. Let's see, let's find somebody. Oh, this guy's killing everybody. Oh, thanks, guy. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Hold on, I'm sorry. Here we go, let's... Oh, that guy was too squishy. Let's try this one. Alright, see how you're stunned? I medium weave right after that to stun him. Now, Dragon Knights also have another stun. People like using Fossilize right here to stun people. I don't run it, but it is a very good stun. But like I said, you want a stun for your character so you can stun people, you know, disrupt their attacks or their healing so you can burst them down easier. Next is speed. It is highly recommended that you get some sort of speed in any build you have. My speed, well, for one, I have the champion point Celerity, which I recommend you have on every build. This one right here. Also, I have the skill Elude, which when I get hit by area of effect attacks, I gain major expedition for 5 seconds, increasing my movement speed. Very, very helpful. Like I said, you want a form of movement speed on every build. Next is a snare removal. Now, I don't have a snare removal, technically. I do run immovability pots, which makes it so I can't be stunned or snared, but I don't have a snare removal. You could change rally to forward momentum, which is a snare removal. You can pop it to get out of a stun or a snare. There's also race against time all the way down here, where you can pop when you're stunned or immobilized to break out of it. Sorcerer's Streak, that's another really good one. But yeah, you want to be able to break out of the stun. Very, very important. Because if you get stunned and you can't break out of it, you're just going to sit there and just take damage. Alright, next up is passives. Passives are very important to pretty much every build. Now, the first one I'm going to go over is your class passives, right? Whatever class you have, you'll always have 3 different class lines, I guess you could say. Class trees, right? For the DK, it's Ardent Flame, Draconic Power, and Earth and Heart. You want all the passives so you can get all these different juicy abilities, right? Obviously, they'll be different for every different character, but just make sure you fill out all your passives for each class has their own passives. Just make sure you get them all. Maximize, your healing, your damage, tankiness, what have you. Some passives you can give your teammates buffs, so you can be a good friend also. Also, you want to get Undaunted passives. This right here, PvEers should probably be familiar with. Undaunted. You want these passives right here. This one gives you more stats when you activate a synergy. Very helpful in the middle of battle, especially when you're in a group battle. And this one right here, Undaunted Metal, increasing your max health, stamina, and magicka by 2% per type of armor. Now I'm wearing heavy and medium, so I have a 4% bonus, right? That's some good resources right there. If I had a light piece, it'd be 6%. You want this passive right here. It's going to give you more resources, the different armor types you have on. Very good. And the next passive that's very important is under Alchemy. Medicinal use. This one right here makes it so when you pop a potion, the effects will last all the way until you have to pop another potion. Now, if you didn't have this passive, I think there's like a 20-second window where you won't have any benefits from a potion because you're waiting for the cooldown to wear off. Well, with this passive right here, it's always active as long as you pop the pot when you can. It's very good passive. You need that. Get it. Trust me. Really need OP meta proc sets, right? Everyone and their mother is running the meta proc sets, whether it be Vicious Death, Dark Convergence, Wrothgar, Plague Break. Alright, you don't need that stuff to be good at PvP. I actually advise you to try to stray away from proc damage sets. They give you free damage, but it doesn't help you grow as a player, alright? Now, every build should have, high resources, high weapon and spell damage, probably around 5k, between 5 and 10k penetration, and like 1500 sustain. Crit builds can also only has to be 30% chance, crit chance, not necessarily 50 like PvE. Alright, now let me show you some sets here. We got, like I'm running Armor Master, right? That's a good for resistances. Pariah is another very good one to up your resistances. This is an overland set, Pariah is. You can buy it from Guild Traders. Armor Master is a crafted set. Witch Knight is a very good damage set. Works good on a DK too because you're poisoning them. Or if you're using a Nightblade with a bow, it also is very good. Bloodspawn is a good monster set to give you more tankiness and ult regen. What else do we got here? Daedra Trickery is another really good set. I used to run it, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Very powerful. It's a crafted set. When you deal damage, you get 1 of 5 major buffs. Expedition, make you fast. Protection, keep you safe. You know, it's 10% damage mitigation. Mending, it increases your healing. Heroism, it gives you ulti regen. And Vitality, I'm pretty sure, is healing received. Very, very powerful set. And Heartland's Conqueror, excuse me, is another really good set you can run. It increases the effectiveness of your weapon traits by 100%. This is how you can get your penetration. You can double your sharpened. Let's see here, double the sharpened on the maul here. So instead of 3276, it could be, what is it, 6400? Alright, you could also make it Nirnhund if you wanted more weapon damage. Heartlands also does the back bar. If you had a powered back bar, you're going to get double that. So that's what? That'd be like 19%, I'm pretty sure, if it's golded out. One-handed, it's 9% because it's 4.5 golded out. So yeah, Heartlands is another very good set. Let's see what else we got here. I don't think I have too much other ones right now. Spriggans, yes, Spriggans is very good. This one will give you penetration, a good amount of penetration, weapon damage, and then stats, stamina. Like I said, you don't need overpowered proc sets to be good in PvP. But you want at least, I'd say you want at least 25k spell and physical resistance. You want at least 5k weapon and spell damage. You want at least 1500 sustain, meaning stam recovery, or if you're a magic user, magic recovery. And your crit resist should sit right where mine's at, probably 2400. A little less you can get away with, but I don't suggest it with the patch coming up. Procs are gonna crit, and it's gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, so you can build certain sets together and make a good build without it being a proc damage set, right? Also, you can run mythic items like this right here, Malakav Banded Brutality. Great, you have to download the Greymoor chapter and scry for it. But yeah, like I said, many different sets you can wear. You don't have to run the meta sets. Shop around, look at guild traders, talk to friends, see where these sets can be found. You can also look right here at collections, sets, and you can click any one of these and look at the armor and where it comes from, what it does, where it comes from, and all that jazz. Alright? The next one is Friend a Crafter. I know this sounds funny, but crafting gives you a whole bunch of options for sets that you can't get yourself, unless you are a master crafter yourself. But crafting, you can have many different craftable sets. And like I said, right here, Armor Master is a craftable set. Daedra Trickery is a craftable set. And then, where's Heartland Conqueror? Right there. Heartland Conqueror. That's another craftable set. There are really good craftable sets that you definitely want access to. So I suggest making friends with someone that's a crafter, or joining a guild and ask people, to craft things for you. But just make sure that you know a crafter, so, in case a new set comes out, or you found a set you want to use, you'll be able to, because you can craft it. This next one is a big one that I struggle with and a lot of other different people struggle with. Resource management. Now what that means is you want to keep your stamina, magicka, and health as high up as possible at all times, right? Now, let's say you get stunned, right? To break free, it almost always costs, let's see, around 5k, right? Dodge roll, that could differ between the armor you wear and all that stuff, but break free is usually around that same thing, 4800. What I recommend is when you're fighting, stamina, magicka build, doesn't matter. You want to at least have 5k stamina at all times so you can always break free and get away, because if you don't, you're going to get stuck there, you're going to be stunned for 5 seconds or however long it is, and just get bursted down, alright? You need to always watch your resources, okay? And for magic users, don't overuse your skills and use up all your magicka, because then you can't do anything if you don't have any magicka. Another thing is roll dodging, right? Now when you roll dodge, it goes up by 1,000. That's like 800 and something. But every time you roll dodge in succession, if you don't wait 3 seconds between each roll dodge, it will go up by 1,000. See how it's going up, and it's getting more. Watch when I go all the way up. Watch when I go deplete my bar. Watch.
You
this.
helped the High King
8,900 for dodge roll. See, it went up by like 900
choice,
every
friend.
time. So that means you want to time your dodge rolls with blocking, right? You want to block attacks and dodge roll when necessary, but don't dodge roll too much because you will run out of stamina very quickly, okay? Very important. Another thing that's good for resource management is watch overcasting. Now what overcasting is say I pop all my stuff, right? Overcasting is hitting abilities before they end. Like hit my armor, I hit my armor or my fragmented shield too much, and now look, oh no, I don't have magicka and I can't heal with cauterize. You know, or if I ran out of stamina, same thing. I wouldn't be able to heal. I wouldn't be able to do anything. You must always watch your resources. So no overcasting. Make sure the skills, they get to 1 or 0 before you cast them again, unless it's a heal, of course, and you need to heal. But never overcast. And watch your dodge rolls and your blocking. Know when to block and when to dodge roll. You're not going to be perfect at it. It's going to take some practice, believe me. I still practice at it. But yeah, just make sure you watch your resources. Very, very important. Another thing too, to get your sustain back, your resources. Now, if you're on a stamina build, you're going to heavy attack, right? With your weapon to get stamina back. That gives you more stamina back. Here, watch, I'll show you. Hold on. Roll dodge a couple times. Alright, now heavy attack. See my stamina's coming back exponentially. Now if I was a magic user, the same thing would apply for magicka. You would heavy attack with your staff, and you'd get magicka back. Very important lesson. When you're low on resources, you don't have a pot to pop, heavy attack, okay? Heavy attack in between your other attacks. Make sure you have enough resources, okay? So the next one is locking on to your target. This is actually, sad to say, I've learned this quite recently, as I didn't know for the longest time. But you can actually lock on to a single target. So your attacks only go to them unless they're area of effect attacks, right? So let's see here. See these guys? I want to push down on the right analog stick for Xbox, and I think it's for PlayStation 2, and I'm pretty sure it's tab on the PC. So see how I glue up white there? See how it's going white? That means I'm locked on. So I can just throw my attacks over there. And if I had a bow and arrow, it'd do the same thing. Magic. I'm locked on. Oh, see, now he's dead. I have to relock onto this guy. See how he's locked on? It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, it really helps you in group fights, outnumbered fights, to really focus someone down. Very good tool. So the next one is to always be healing. Now, what that means is, I like to, when I'm in battle, I like to always pop Vigor before I go in and fight. So I've got healing coming in. Cauterize, obviously, always. But whatever your heal is, before you go in and fight, heal, and then start fighting. And then when you're fighting, you're going to want to continuously leave the heals, you know, leave it in and out so you're always popping off your health. You're always, you know what I mean? That's very beneficial. You always want to almost always be healing. Unless it's taking a drain on your resources, then you could just, you know, go ham on someone. But, trust me, you want to always weave your heals in with your attacks. So, you know, attack, heal, go back in, attack, back up, heal, attack, you know, you get the idea. Just always be healing. It mitigates a lot of the damage, a lot of dot damage over time, mitigates a lot of that. If you're always healing, then the enemy can't burst you down as easy, because you're healing your health back, alright? So just always remember that, to weave your heals in and out of combat, or in and out of your attacks when you're in combat. See, right here, with Cyrodiil, we have this main campaign, which is CP, and then they have a no CP, right? Also, Battlegrounds is no CP right now, and I'm pretty sure Imperial City, Imperial City has a no CP. Now, what no CP means is literally no champion points, right? So look at all these benefits, right? Reduced fall cost, reduced cost of way shrine, that doesn't really matter. But the big ones are like over here. You know, extra stamina, extra magicka, you got penetration in here, you know, extra damage, and then another big one is the red tree. Extra health, reduced cost to roll dodge, reduced cost to break free, reduced cost to sprint, reduced cost to block over here, and all your slottables. None of it will work in a non-CP campaign. So you always got to think about that. If you want to play CP, then you know, you're going to use your champion points. You're going to build your build around champion points. But if you want to do no CP, like Battlegrounds, then you need to take into account everything. Oh, I just died. Look at that. That is embarrassing. I'm so sorry. I think a guard just killed me. That is embarrassing. Anyway, when you're in non-CP, you want to just take that into account. You're not going to have any of those benefits. Your break free is going to cost more. Your dodge roll is going to cost more. It's all going to cost more. You're going to have less resources, alright? And like I said before, talking about resource management, in non-CP, resource management is so much more important because you don't have all that reduction. Now, if you're a non-CP, like Battlegrounds, like I said, you're going to want to run a lot of recovery. What that means is either a set of armor that gives you recovery, or you can enhance it on your jewelry pieces. You know, stam recovery like this, or if you're a magic user, mag recovery, right? You will probably want more recovery in non-CP areas. It's a pretty big difference. There's an argument all the time of, you know, non-CP is better than CP because it's your real build, but I don't know. I like playing CP because the game has champion points. Why not use the champion point system? You know, that's my build. I'm comfortable with that, so that's what I use. When I go into Battlegrounds and it's non-CP, I struggle a little bit because I'm used to having CP and, you know, extra sustain and extra resources, cost reduction and many things. So, it just all depends on the player. If you want to play Battlegrounds or non-CP Cyrodiil or non-CP Imperial City, then focus on your recoveries and resource management. It's just a totally different two different sides. All right, and it's just really important that you understand that. Okay, so another difference is being solo fighting or being in a group while fighting, right? Now, when you're solo fighting, whether it be 1v1 or outnumbered, you obviously only have yourself to rely on, right? Only yourself, your abilities, your sets, your CP, your talent. Just you, right? And you have to you know, heal yourself, do the damage yourself, move quick by yourself, scope out your surroundings, you know, break line of sight from enemies all by yourself. And when you're with a group, it's much different, you know. You could have a group member that has a set that gives you damage, or a set that gives you armor, or a set that heals you. Or you could just have healers with you, healing you constantly, and you just never die, right? And you could just go balls to the wall with damage. Now, believe me, I hate running into groups like that. They're just running around healing, not even attacking. So annoying. Anyway, so yeah, when you're in a group, you can kind of relax a little. I would, you know, ask your group members, you know, what buffs are you running? So you know what you're getting, right? Completely different dynamic between a group and solo PvP. I like doing solo PvP because I like the challenge. I don't like zerging people down. I don't like, you know, tag teaming someone. I like being by myself, so all I have to do is rely on myself, right? Myself, my abilities, my skills to get the job done. Alright, so just keep in mind when you're in a group and when you're by yourself that it's two, you know, it could be two different experiences, okay? Now, the last and certainly not least, actually it's probably the most important lesson I have for you, is burst and burst window, okay? Now, what that means is, now for let's just say for PvE, right, it's all about high damage, high crit, doing as much damage as possible, right? Now, PvP, yes, high damage is very good, right? But that's not what it's all about. It's about burst, how much burst you can do in a short amount of time, because players aren't like NPCs that can just stand there and do whatever, right? Players are gonna roll dodge, they're gonna block, you know, they're gonna heal, they're gonna have teammates to protect them, they're gonna run away, all that jazz, okay? Now the burst basically means, like, look at my DK example, right? My spammable is Dizzy Swing, right? When I run up to someone, I'm going to hit them with Noxious Breath to reduce their resistances. I'm going to hit them with Venomous Claw to add a dot to them, which is going to... There's also another dot from the Plague Breaks that I have on. So already they're taking damage over time, okay? And so that means that even when they heal, they're not going to heal the full health because they're taking damage from my dots. So after I apply all those, then, you know, I can start D-swinging and trying to burst them down. Now, if I can't burst them down in a couple seconds, I'm going to back up, and I'm going to heal up and repop my buffs, because if I just stand there and try fucking hammering on someone, and just continuously just trying to do as much damage as possible, they could do so many different things. They could roll dodge out of the way, pop an ultimate on you, and just wreck your day. Or they could sit there and just block it all until you're out of stamina and then just wreck your day. You know what I mean? Or when you're going ham on someone and you can't burst them down, their teammate can just come up and end your life real quick. See what I'm driving at here? High damage is good, but it's all about high damage in a short amount of time, right? Let me see if I can find an NPC here to demonstrate real quick. Here we go. So we're gonna Corrosive Claw, and we're gonna burst him down, and, well, he died pretty quick, but you get the point. You have to burst him, okay? And another very important fact is anticipating the enemy burst. What I like doing is when I find someone in battle, and they're ready to fight, I'm gonna buff up, and I'm probably gonna shoot a couple attacks his way, but I want to see what he's working with first, okay? I want to see what his attacks are going to be towards me. Plus, when you start playing the game more and you know what class that person's on, you know what attacks they're going to do, you can kind of almost guess what they're going to do, like telegraph what they're going to do. So you're going to, you know, you're going to receive all the damage, whatever, roll dodge out of it, block it, heal it, do what you have to do, and after they're done attacking for a couple seconds, then try to do your burst, okay? So you have to anticipate the enemy burst, and then do your own burst, okay? Never just sit there and just try slamming on someone for ages, because it's just, unless they're a really bad player, it's not going to work, okay? You need to anticipate the enemy's burst and then follow it up with your own burst, okay? And like I said, burst is just a lot of damage in a short amount of time, okay? Whether it be your spammable, your ultimate, or, you know, what have you. But burst is the most important thing in PvP. It's what separates PvP and PvE, okay? Burst. Because like I said, players are sometimes unpredictable. Most of the time they're unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what attacks they have. You don't know what kind of defense they have. You don't know if they have another teammate around the corner, okay? Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the enemy's attacks. Know when he's done, and then execute your own, alright? And another very important tip is medium weaving and light attack weaving. Now, light attack weaving is just basically...
I'm in the middle of something.
D-swing, light attack, D-swing, light attack, right? On a stam character. It's where you do your spammable, and then you follow it up with the right trigger, or whatever your attack button is, okay? Spammable, right trigger. Spammable, right trigger. Spammable, right trigger. That's light attack weaving, which is most famous in PvE. Now, it does work for PvP, however, medium weaving is really good in PvP. It's very hard to do on a magic character. I actually don't know how to do it pretty good, but on a stamina character, it goes like this, right? So a heavy attack is a fully charged swing like that, okay? And a light attack is a swing like that. Now, a medium weave is in between, so you hold it for a second, and then you release. That's a medium weave. Now, to capitalize with that, with D-swing, you're going to want to dizzy swing, and then medium weave. Well, he died pretty quick, but, let me see if I can find someone else real quick. This next should do. So, dizzy swing. See that? Dizzy swing. Medium weave right out. Okay? Very, very powerful. And if you do it right with the D-swing, it will stun them. Alright? And it just adds to your overall damage output, your overall burst, okay? Just get in the habit of medium weaving. And once again, it's your spammable, and then you hold down the trigger and halfway, and then release. Alright? Bonus tip for those who stay to the end is practice. You guessed it, practice. Practice, 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 okay? Always be practicing. If you want to get better at PvP, it won't happen by watching one video. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen because you're friends with a good PvPer, or you run with a good PvPer. Believe me, getting advice is very good, but you want to practice this stuff yourself, okay? Duel friend, duel randoms, who cares if you lose, you know? Practice your things. You can even practice on NPCs like I showed you in this video, okay? Battleground. Oh, you know, if you want to play CCS, you guys don't practice in Battlegrounds because it's, like I said, it's two different builds, okay? Your Battlegrounds build's gonna be different than your Cyrodiil build. So on and so forth, alright? But just make sure you practice, okay? That's all I say. Practice, 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 and you will get better. I promise you, you will get better, alright? Now, this is the end of this video, and I'm very happy to have taught you all about PvP for those who didn't know about it. Thank you everybody for the support, and I'll see you later.